So these are just shots of Vaginal Davis's performance personas. Yeah. So she does an evangelical preacher, St. Celicia Tate. So, and on the right, she's performing as Bricktop, a 1920s sort of flapper club impresario, sort of club hostess. These are all from Bricktops, which was a club that ran for about 4 years in Los Angeles. It's a weekly club, and inspired by the hot jazz moment of the 1920s. Ron Athey and Vaginal Davis collaborated on 2 performance art parties. This was in association with the Gay and Lesbian Film Festival. So they took over a motel, an infamous motel, popular with hustlers who do a lot of methamphetamines. Speed. Yeah. Each room featured a different performance artist. So some were quite well-known performance artists like Franco B., who's a body artist who's based in Europe. Some were burlesque dancers. Others were drag performers or drag kings, as on the right. This is a drag king. And on the left is Vaginal Davis's own installation. It's called Topping from the Bottom. So it's a manifesto celebrating submissives. And it's basically just men in that position playing with themselves for 18 hours in rotating shifts. So. Okay, I'm going to switch things up again. So I've been trying to give you a portrait of where queer performance and body art is coming from in Los Angeles, which is not, it's really not from official spaces of art, though over the years, increasingly, this work is being sought out, I'd say, by arts organizations. Things are changing a little bit politically, but still. These club spaces are absolutely essential to creating a healthy arts environment, certainly in my city. I don't want to live in a city where I can't see art outside of museums and art galleries. Okay. In some of the contemporary queer work that I'm seeing now, I think we're seeing I don't want to say nostalgia, but I'm still struggling for the right word. An interest. In the late 60s and early 1970s. And in particular, it's an interest in the optimism, a moment that on some level seems naive. Although at the same time, it's a moment in which people seemed also to be uncompromising. These are photographs of the Coquettes, which is a very influential queer performance theater group in San Francisco. And these are just random photographs of Radical Fairies, which is an anti-patriarchal, anti-capitalist gay men's movement of the 1970s. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there's a group in Los Angeles called My Barbarian. And I want to show you their work because they're doing something that is kind of political, and maybe you can tell me how or why. Sorry, I have a lot of work here that I'm not going to show. Okay. well, this is obviously political, so I'm just going to show you this. I think I'm going to end just by showing you a few different things. Yeah, where'd the sound go? Okay, yeah, it's corny. Right? They do workshops with artists and whoever wants to participate, basically, in which they produce these performances, songs, dance, and spectacle. And often, in the center of these performances is the theme of building community and developing a sense of political action. And so this is one number that came out of a workshop. And it's called Mandate to Participate. Get the picture, right? But they also do this. They do absurd sorts of things. They're absolutely a pleasant and a joy to watch. So politics has been surfacing in very literal ways in contemporary queer performance at the moment. But the whole tone and emotion and affect around it is very different from what I know I'm used to. I'm about 43. There's a sense of humor and a lightness and a surprising optimism, especially given the moment that we are living under. So I have a kind of an open question about the relationship of art and politics in this way, in this kind of work, which is gesturing towards the 70s. I'm kind of looking back, but looking back in looking back in terms of its aesthetics and its politics quite explicitly. So, is it going backwards?